Okay, so namaskar everyone and welcome to another Medini Live. आज हम आपके लिए क्या लेकर आए हैं? आज है Wednesday. So wonderful Wednesdays are not only Wednesday, rather each day is getting wonderful here with Medini Care. Now, when we say that the journey of प्रेगनेंसी की जो जर्नी होती है, पहले तो शुरू होने से पहले बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस लेकर आती है, बहुत सारे कंफ्यूजन्स लेके आती है, बहुत सारे तरह के गाइडेंस लेके आती है. एंड नाउ इन टुडेज एरा ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, गाइडेंस इतना सारा है, मटेरियल इतना ज्यादा अवेलेबल है कि हमें कंफ्यूज करके चली जाती है. एंड अल्टीमेटली ये जिम्मेदारी पूरी तरह उस लेडी की होती है कि वो कैसे अपनी प्रेगनेंसी की जर्नी ट्रेवल कर रही है, हाउ शी इज डिजाइनिंग हर बेबी. And our sculptures are full of the power a female has in terms of making a baby and designing his or her life ahead. So today we have our Ashtanga Garbha Sanskara participant Devrati with us. So welcome Devrati to YouTube Live. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. अब आप हमको पहले ये बताइए, just to start with, कि how you came to know about Medini Care, what clicked you, क्या ऐसा था कि जिसने आपको बोला कि आप ये ज्वाइन कीजिए. उससे पहले आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट कि पहले अपने बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए.
A very warm good afternoon to everyone. I am Debarati Banerjee Singh, and I'm working as a lecturer, and I have a 11-year-old baby girl, a girl, and my husband is working with the forces. He's an IPS officer, and I'm staying in West Bengal currently. I got to know about this, जो भी विथिका मैम ने पूछा मेरे से, जो ये प्रोग्राम है. After I conceived, I had a lot of questions and I think I'll be answering them जैसे मैम मेरे से पूछेंगे. So I was searching a lot of things on the social media, on YouTube, and of course on Google, and in the social media itself, from Facebook, I got to know about it. And the moment I saw Kumbhak, actually there were a lot of Garbha Sanskar programs which were floating in the social media. But what clicked me was when I saw the word Kumbhak therapy. That is something which clicked me. And of course, the name of Swamiji was also there. So that is something which clicked me. And to top of it, what made me sure that I want to be a part of it was I had a discussion about it with my father, who is also into a lot of into yoga and meditation practices. So once he told me, जब उन्होंने मेरे को बताया कि it is something which is a wonderful practice, a very very ancient practice. So I didn't even disclose to him that why I want to join this. But the moment I got to know from him, I was doubly sure that I want to be a part of this program. So that is how I became a part of this wonderful program, a wonderful journey. And that's how I got to know about it.
Well, that's indeed a very beautiful journey you have with Medini Care, Debarati. So tell us about your journey with us and what are your key takeaways from this Ashtanga Garbha Sanskara program?
The journey, ma'am, in one word, was magical. That is what I can tell. It was magical for me. And there were so many questions that I had. In fact, I wouldn't say questions. There were a lot of apprehensions that I had in my mind. There were a lot of confusions that I had in mind. There were a lot of, in fact, fear that I had in my mind. And once I joined in this program, from the day one, after having the session especially, and the kind of the system, the way the things unfolded was wonderful. Like it was very very systematic, it was very professional. And the things, the way it unfolded, the first session that I had, I was very, very sure that I'm going to deliver a very, very healthy and a happy and a wonderful child. That was something which was very clear to me. And this was something which I was not very sure before I joined in this program, because as you know, medical sciences gives you a lot of, doubts, fears, and all that totally got wiped away when I first joined the session. So that is what that was the takeaway, that one should be very sure of why you want to join it. And once you join it, you get what you want. That is the wonderful thing from Medini Care. You actually are served with whatever you wanted, as if you don't even have to tell that what you want, and you're getting served, you're being served with it. So this was an amazing thing which Medini gave it to me. And everything, for every scan I went, the kind of parameters that should be for required for a healthy baby, required for a healthy pregnancy, was like matching. It was on 10 on 10, 100 on 100. So it was something that you think, and it is being served on the platter. And this is what Medini gave me. That is what I would like to tell all the viewers, that you should be a part of this wonderful journey, because you don't even have to ask things from them. It just happens. They're just giving it to you and you're getting it. So this was the wonderful takeaway that I had from Medini Care.
So Devrati, in our experience also, you are one of those participants जो कि already काफी systematic रहती थी अपनी अप्रोच में, बहुत पंक्चुअल रहती थी, आपका इन्वॉल्वमेंट पूरी तरह होता था सारे सेशंस में. So this was your second pregnancy that in which you joined Medini Care.
Yes,
although you have a beautiful, healthy first baby with you, so how this pregnancy was different from the previous one?
Yes, ma'am. Firstly, what I would like to tell that since the pregnancy was late, so I had, as I'm saying, that I had apprehensions, and in fact, my gynaec, termed my pregnancy as high risk pregnancy. So what I did was, I completely ignored this. I mean, I was in the mode of denial. I didn't want to hear this word. So I didn't want to, in fact, discuss it with anyone, none of my family members. In fact, only my husband and myself knew that this is a high risk pregnancy, because of the fact that it was late. And there were so many tests that I had to go through, which it didn't happen during my first pregnancy. That of course was medically done. But when whatever the doctors or the gynaec was suggesting, I kept doing all those. But at the bottom of my heart, I knew that whatever results that I was getting was because of this practice of the Kumbhak Kriya that I was doing. I'm getting the results simply because of that. I did not take any medicines, ma'am, apart from the multivitamins that was given to me. Other than that, throughout my pregnancy, I did not take a single medicine. So that was something which was wonderful. If I compare my first pregnancy, the normal complications that you get in terms of backache, in terms of swelling, in terms of mood swings, in terms of getting into depressions maybe, or kind of nausea, vomiting, you name it. You name any complications or problems that a woman generally face, and it's very normal. The doctor would say that it's a very normal kind of a thing that you're facing. There's nothing to worry. But I did not have any of those problems or whatever complications or whatever normal, also if you can term it as. I did not face any of those problems. It was such a smooth journey. I did not have any swelling. There was no backache. I was doing my work very, very comfortably. In fact, all the kriyas that I was doing, I was sitting on the floor and I was doing my walk, regular, walking. I was doing all my work also, like as I told you, I have a daughter, so I had to get up in the morning, get her lunch ready. I was there in the kitchen, so everything went on very, very smoothly, which definitely there was these problems I did face during my first pregnancy. In fact, during the third trimester, I had a lot of swelling, which was totally absent in this pregnancy. There was no backache, absolutely no backache. I was so comfortable throughout. And the doctors would tell me that keep counting the kicks of the baby, but I used to wonder that how, and how do I count, because it was continuous. I could understand, I could feel that the baby is so active within me. So that is something which was wonderful, ma'am. So that's what is the difference that I felt between my first and this pregnancy.
Well, I completely agree what Ritika just said. The most dedicated participants that we have got is one of you, of course, Debirati. So you were very regimental doing your practices and very regular during the sessions also. So share some magical moments that you have experienced during the sessions.
Okay, ma'am. So the magical moment first would be the sessions that we used to have with Swamiji. We used to really wait for those sessions where Swamiji would be there live with us, and it was like getting his blessings directly. Although it was whenever we were listening to the recording, we knew that he was there, but when he was live, it was something which was really magical, because I could feel and sense that that Swamiji is blessing, and his blessings are directly being received. So that was something which I probably had this connect. Maybe this is my connect that I had with him. And then of course the sessions where the Purnima sessions definitely were also one of those where though we did not talk about only pregnancy or any kind of the journeys or difficulties which the others were facing, but life in general, and my outlook, my attitude, everything towards life in general also changed because of the sessions that I had with him. Apart from that, the sessions, the dance session and that we had, although the that was only one that I could enjoy, but it was a wonderful moment that was there. And it every session made us, in fact I would say that every session was magical. I mean, I used to wait, and when I used to see that in the WhatsApp the message did not come for join the Zoom meeting, I used to wonder what's wrong today, will we not have the session? So I would say that every session was magical, because there was something or the other that I was learning. And it was not just about pregnancy, it was not about my health, but it was about life in general. So my outlook, my attitude, my approach, everything had a very deep impact because of these sessions. It wasn't just my pregnancy, but everything around me I felt was changing. And I knew that somehow this baby is going to bring something very different and something new in my life. So that was also something which I was constantly feeling whenever I was joining these sessions. So I would say every session was magical for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Devrati, so when you say कि everything around you was changing, and obviously ये जो pregnancy का period होता है, ये बहुत बड़ा milestone होता है हमारी life का. मैंडेटरी नहीं है, पर अगर है तो बहुत पावरफुल है. तो जो आपने अपने आसपास चेंजेस फील किए, क्या आपके आसपास के लोगों ने भी आप में कुछ फील किया? यानी इज द देवव्रती बिफोर 9 months एंड नाउ इज द सेम, और समथिंग हैज चेंज्ड phenomenally?
Yes, ma'am. I think people around me, of course, they have felt it. And in fact, as I told you also in one of the, sessions that we had, that my husband also used to tell that, somehow that feeling of, because I remember Swamiji saying that when a woman is pregnant, she is like a Devi, like a goddess, because the entire universe is working within her. So that is how she becomes so powerful. And with whatever, the practices that were suggested that I was doing, my husband used to come and used to fold his hands in front of me. So he used to tell me that, you are actually getting that kind of, maybe that inner glow was there, and maybe that kind of, strength that I was getting within me was getting reflected constantly. So people, although maybe they were not very vocal about telling me, but I could feel that, even they have realized that there are a lot of changes that I had within me. I had become more calm, maybe more composed. And as I keep telling you that, I had become very sure of things that is going to happen. I was not unsure of things. I was not very like whatever maybe the doctors were saying, or as medical sciences or so-called very, logical people were telling me. But I was listening, I was taking all those, but somehow deep within my heart I knew that whatever I am doing, whatever practices I'm doing, is something which is actually going to bring the result. And that came in front of me, and it's in the form of my son, and a beautiful healthy son, I could deliver. And touch wood, ma'am. And we can see the kind of the changes, or the kind of composition that my son has, the way he's responding. Probably he's ahead of time, maybe, he's achieving the milestones much before what he is supposed to achieve. So that is how it is. And since I was so much under the influence of all this, that we decided to name him Dev Pratim, which means under the divine protection. So just I hope and pray that he's always under the divine protection, he's always under the blessings of Swamiji and Medini care. And he grows up to be a beautiful human being. That is what I want. So this is probably one of the influences that Medini care has.
That's indeed blessings from our side also, Debarati. So Debarati, we have seen the glow on your face during the sessions also. Okay. And so it's just Kumbhak module or something else that you have got from Medini, like chants, stories, food, or the Shringar sessions that we have given to you. Can you just put light on those as well?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, it is the Shringar, and I have gone totally, natural. I've gone into that mode. Although it was always in me. As you all know that we definitely, and we always want to go into the organic mode, and we always want to go into the natural and be very close to nature. But especially after joining this program, probably it became very clear to me, because whatever was suggested, everything had a proper reason, a proper logic, a kind of very conscious reasoning was there, which was supported by Swamiji. Every time he suggested something, it was just not that you do this. He would suggest, and the reason behind why we should do it was suggested. And the best part was that it's just not that he suggested and you do it. Once you do it, you could get the results. For example, Shringar. So if he said Shringar, and if he would, he suggested certain oils, the massage, the way the massage needs to be done, I got the results immediately. Like if I talk of hair fall, and I keep telling this to my husband also, that and this I had experienced in my first pregnancy as well. There was a lot of hair fall that I had. In fact, after the pregnancy also, after the delivery also, there was a lot of hair fall which was totally absent. After I started following whatever Swamiji had suggested in the Shringar module, like, the way you should tie your hair, even that was specifically told by him. So that minute details, is being taken care of. And, there is a proper reason also that he gives. So if you follow it, like, wearing a bindi. Now, wearing a bindi, I used to love wearing a bindi. It was not that I went out without wearing it, but such a simple thing. And he suggested a reason. He told a reason behind it. So those things were, they were something which became a part of me. I mean, it was not that I was doing it very, very consciously. It became a part of me. So I would never go out without, untying my hair, or, without putting a bindi, or without the way he had suggested to do a massage. That also was very specifically told. And everything I could see, ma'am. I mean, even though people would say, but I myself could see the glow on my face. So that is that is something which I really cherish, and I will cherish this. In fact, it still continues. I mean, it still continues. And in fact, I would like to tell the viewers also that postpartum depression is something which everybody goes through probably, and even I had gone through after my first delivery. But touch wood, this time it is so normal. I'm like more happy. I know what I mean. I'm more focused. I know what I have to do. I know what I have to do for the baby. Everything is very focused, very clear, and it's just a happy feeling that I have. I did not get into that mode of depression at all. So that is something which is another takeaway. If ma'am, I would, if you would want to ask, that this was another takeaway from this session, because nobody tells about these. Even if you have elderly people in home, nobody would tell that, why you have to wear a heavy anklet. No, anklet everybody wears it, but why? And then a dhatu, a special kind of a dhatu, also mentions why you have to wear gold, why you have to wear silver. So those things we probably love doing, but then we are not very particular about it. And then when you know how important it is, and it will have a direct impact on the baby you're going to deliver, and I have the results in front of me. That's the best part. I have the results, and I have seen it all. I mean, I saw it. I saw it in the weight, in the kind of health that affected the baby. Everything, and probably all this had an impact on him probably. So that is it.
Devrati, you are a working professional, and per se, I say, of course, a teacher. But at Medini Ashtang Garb Sanskar, you were a student for us. So we were giving regular tasks to you, right?
Yes,
to do one particular day. So how was your diary writing experience was?
Diary writing was something, yes, another a beautiful experience. Although I started a little late with the reminders that were coming in, and but when I started writing, it was a continuous practice that I was doing without fail. Before going to sleep, I would religiously sit and I would write the diary. And I would write everything, every experience that I had. And as I keep saying that whatever practices were suggested by Medini, every practice had a reason behind it. And on top of that, since I am a very spiritual person, I wouldn't say religious, but a very spiritual person from my childhood. So these things of a lot of philosophy also, which I really believe in. I love reading philosophy and philosophical books also. So there, all these things were there in me. They were imbibed in me from the beginning, from my childhood, from my parents. I've got all this. So I knew the effect of karma. I knew the impact karma has. So the moment it was told, I could relate with it very easily. And there was no questions, there was no doubt in my mind that why I should write. I understood the reason behind it, and I knew how serious and how important it is. So without fail, every day before going to bed, I would sit and I would just reflect back on my life. I would turn the pages, and I would keep writing. Every day I would write. And in fact, while I was writing, it was a routine thing that I was doing it. But then reflecting back on things that had happened, going back to the past and writing, sometimes painful incidents, sometimes happy incidents. So it was a wonderful thing that you're reflecting back on your past. Otherwise we are so busy that you never get time to reflect back. And when I was writing, I would also at times feel that how silly I was, maybe if I reacted on something, that maybe why did I react in this manner. So those things came in, and probably that also had an impact on my personality, on my probably thought processes. And the day the culmination happened, so that experience was wonderful. I mean, I shared it with Ritika ma'am and you also, that it was definitely something which cannot be explained in words, which probably no one would understand. In fact, people who saw me, my parents were there, my husband was around, so even they saw me. I was totally shaken after the experience, after the culmination, and I couldn't believe that things like this would happen. But I was so relieved. It was as if there was something which was actually a burden, which was something which was there, I was carrying for so many years, and there was a relief after the culmination happened. So an experience which is a lifetime experience, I would say. Unless one goes through it, nobody will be able to explain it the way it happened. And it actually will happen with everyone who does it, I'm sure, because it is so practical. I experienced it practically, and it is a lifetime experience, which I think, and my husband kept on asking that, just ask the team that whether I can also do do it, whether I can also start doing something like this. So people were realizing it, that it's a wonderful thing. Probably I realized it, I felt it, and that got reflected, and people around me could feel it probably. So it was a once in a lifetime experience, I would tell all the viewers. Definitely writing the diary and the culmination was something which I didn't experience it before. Never that kind of a feeling had come to me. So I did experience a magical feeling again.
यस देवव्रती, ये अष्टांग गर्भ संस्कार में जितनी चीजें हम आप लोगों को डिलीवर करते हैं, इवन मी एंड नेहा ऑलवेज डिस्कस कि यार ये हमें भी करना है. सो जितना हम कर पाते हैं, जैसे बिंदी हो गई या एंकलेट हो गया, ये सारी चीजें तो आती हैं. यस, दिस इज द आंसर फॉर योर हस्बैंड. ही कैन ऑल्सो डू दैट, एंड दिस प्रोसेस कैन बी रिपीटेड अगेन ऑल्सो.
Okay, ma'am.
दिस इज द थिंग नेहा. नेहा, ये हमारी टू डू लिस्ट में है जो हमें करना है और हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल अदर थिंग्स. अच्छा, एक चीज बताओ देवव्रती, जैसे अष्टांग गर्भ संस्कार के और भी कई सारे प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं. सो उसमें जनरली जो हम देखते हैं, पूरी बड़ी सी गाइडलाइन आपको मिल जाती है, पर यहाँ पर हम आपके हर साइकिल को अलग तरीके से ट्रीट करते रहे हैं. सो बीट विथ कुंभक, हठ कुंभक, मर्मन्यासा, या साउंड जो है, फूड एस्पेक्ट जो है, इवन जो कनेक्टिंग विद डिवाइन वाले एस्पेक्ट हैं, अर्थ काम मोक्ष, ये वाले टॉपिक्स जो हैं, तो इसमें से क्या आपको ये रिलेवेंट लगा? कुड यू रिलेट कि हर साइकिल में जो जो दिया गया वो कितना जरूरी था? ऑल्सो क्या कोई सेशंस बोरिंग भी थे?
नहीं मैम, फॉर मी बोरिंग तो कोई भी सेशन नहीं था, बिकॉज एवरी सेशन हैड, आई यूज्ड टू, एज आई टोल्ड यू, आई यूज्ड टू वेट फॉर एवरी सेशन, एंड एवरी सेशन हैड समथिंग डिफरेंट. मतलब जो भी सेशंस अटेंड किए, कोई एक सेशन ऐसा नहीं था जिसमें रिपीटेटिव चीजें हमें बताई गई और जिसमें हमें कुछ ऐसा लगा कि अरे ये तो मालूम ही है पहले से, व्हाट न्यू अबाउट इट. ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ. एवरी सेशन वाज वेरी न्यू. एवरी सेशन हैड समथिंग डिफरेंट. ये मैं बोलना चाहूंगी कि इट वाज वेरी डिफरेंट. और जो भी मतलब हर साइकिल में, लाइक एवरी साइकिल हैड अ गॉड, एवरी साइकिल हैड अ देव, एंड एवरी साइकिल में वी वर टोल्ड दैट वी शुड लिसन टू दोस चैंट्स, and that was something which was so different. ये चीजें जो हैं ये वैसे नहीं, nobody knows it also, I don't know, as in मैंने कई बार लोगों को जो हमारे अंदर जो चक्रास है उनके बारे में डिस्कस करने मतलब सुना है. people do discuss about it, people talk about it, but I never heard people talking and relating a particular day with that particular cycle, which was something very very new. एंड इनफैक्ट उसके साथ जो वो चैंटिंग्स, जो चैंट्स हमें मिलते थे, जो हमें चैंट्स बोलने के लिए भी बोला जाता था या फिर सुनने के लिए, इनफैक्ट जब हम क्रियास करते थे तो उसके साथ भी मैं आई यूज्ड टू एंश्योर दैट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर डे आई वुड लिसन टू दैट पर्टिकुलर चैंट, या जो भी सॉन्ग्स होते थे या भजन्स होते थे वो मैं रेगुलरली आई वुड लिसन एंड आई कुड फील इट। मतलब ऐसा फील होता था कि यस, मतलब ये जो है, अगर मैं विशुद्धि का कुछ कर रही हूँ तो आई कुड फील इट, बिकॉज उसमें हमें बताया जाता था कि यू हैव टू इमेजिन that Vishnu ji, या Mahakal, या फिर Parvati ji is there, and for every cycle, yeah, Krishna is there or Brahma ji is there. So, and you have to imagine that there is a small window which Swami ji would say, and you have to see from that window and you could see them. वो बैठे हैं, वो आपको आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं, the baby is being blessed. So हर चीज was so systematically बताया जाता था, and the same way I used to practice it, ma'am. अगर ये बोला गया है कि you have to imagine, तो मैं वैसे ही इमेजिन करती थी। एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू कि मेरे पास आई हैड दिस कैलेंडर जिसमें कार्तिकेय का पिक्चर था, एंड I could, picturize. And in fact, when my baby came in front of me, when I saw his lips, it was absolutely the same. मतलब वो बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा था कि वही चेहरा जो है वो बैठाया, and the same thing has come in front of me. So every session there was nothing boring, ma'am. This was something which the viewers, I would like to say, that कोई भी boring नहीं था. Every session had something new. हमें नया ही जानने को मिला, और ये था कि अरे ये तो पता ही नहीं था, मतलब ये फीलिंग आती थी, अच्छा ये तो पता ही नहीं था। एंड कई सारी चीजें तो मैम आई टोल्ड पीपल अराउंड मी, लाइक माय इन लॉज वर देयर, माय पेरेंट्स, मैंने सबको बताया कि ऐसा, आई मीन दे वर आल्सो लाइक अच्छा ये तो हमें नहीं मालूम था। सो दिस वाज समथिंग व्हिच दी सेशंस वर ऑल अबाउट। तो बोरिंग तो मैम कभी भी नहीं था बिल्कुल भी नहीं था। फॉर मी इट वाज नेवर बोरिंग।
Devrati, Ashtang Garbh Sanskar is a long journey of 9 months. Okay. So what happened at the later stage of your pregnancy when you were in 9th month? What challenge you face? You have discussed this thing internally with us as well. So how you conquered that particular thing?
Ma'am, there were a lot of challenges, in between I used to face, because whenever I would go for my regular checkups, and more than me, my gynac, my doctor would have, certain questions in their mind, and they would ask me, or they would suggest, and then they would tell me that, this could happen, or aisa ho sakta hai. And as I told you, my pregnancy was labeled as, high risk pregnancy. So by the time I was in my 9th month, again, there's something that came up, and my gynac said that, there's a possibility that, this could happen. So you should be ready and all that. So yes, I was very nervous, very, very nervous. And whenever, such things happened, the first thing I would do after I would come back, and I would call Vitika ma'am, and I would, I would tell her that, ma'am, this is what had happened. And the kind of, counseling boliye, ya fir the kind of suggestions that came from you, the way आप लोगों ने explain किया चीजों को, and here I would give all the credit to both of you as mentors, the way you handled it. मतलब ये होता है ना कि अगर मेंटोर्स हैं तो द वे दे शुड हैंडल वो चीजें आप लोगों ने किया है, जस्ट लाइक मम्मीज, जस्ट लाइक मदर्स। इनफैक्ट कई चीजें जो है आई वुडंट इवन डिस्कस विद माय मदर, बिकॉज आई न्यू कि शी वुड गेट टेंस्ड और दे वुड गेट टेंस्ड. So I directly called up, and the way you suggested, the way you helped, the way things were like very clear कि अच्छा नहीं ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता है. तो वो challenges 9th month में जब when medical sciences would have the so called question marks, but all those question marks were got diluted because of the kind of discussion I had. And the moment I had a discussion with you, the way you all explained it, कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं है और ऐसा नहीं होता है, और you have faith. And then I immediately would ask that, ma'am, please ask Swamiji. And the moment Swamiji would enter and he would say कि everything is okay, all is well, सब ठीक है, तो बस सारा डाउट चला गया. And I went into the OT with very there was no questions in my mind with my baby. I knew that I am going to deliver a very, very healthy baby. There's nothing that is going to happen, nothing, no negative, no nothing wrong is going to happen. That feeling I had, and that was the support. Dekhi, I mean, I couldn't meet you all personally, but definitely I would come and meet. This is a promise that I would. But वो personally you were not there with me, but ये जो support है, that support was there. And every time, as I keep telling, that 9th month was of course challenging, but before that also, whenever I had my scans, whenever I had my checkups, everything after the checkup, I would just fold my hands and I would thank you all. I mean, I would just tell in my mind, I would thank you, Medini team, it is because of you. I would thank Swamiji, I would thank you. And I would tell my husband that ye dekho, this is just because of Medini Care and nothing else, just because of Kumbhak. I would tell him that और कुछ है ही नहीं इसमें, it is all because I could feel that जो भी हो रहा है, it is because of the practices, it is because of the blessings that I was getting from you all, directly. ये था. And that I would suggest the viewers also. It was a magical journey throughout.
थैंक यू सो मच देवव्रती. ये बात सही है कि हम फिजिकली वहां नहीं होते हैं, पर ये भी सही है कि जब भी ऐसा कुछ हो रहा होता है ना, तो हमारी नींद उड़ जाती है. फिर नेक्स्ट डे हमको पता लगता है कि अच्छा लेबर में था हमारा एक पार्टिसिपेंट एंड दिस हैपेंड टाइप्स. सो आपके जैसे लोग जिन्होंने ये इतना इंटेलिजेंट डिसीजन लेते हैं और ना केवल एनरोल करते हैं, उसके बाद you follow everything, whatever is being shared. You people are the people who make us feel worthy. क्योंकि उस समय हमें लगता है कि हाँ, हम इतनी बड़ी चीज के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं एंड ये हमारी किस्मत है कि हम एक जरिया बन पा रहे हैं उन सारी चीजों को स्वामी जी से लेकर आप तक डिलीवर करने का. नेहा, पर ये एक बहुत खराब चीज जो मुझे लगती है कि हमारे सिस्टम में तो प्रेग्नेंट लेडीज को बहुत अलग तरीके से ट्रीट किया जाता है. यानी इन केस अगर उनके साथ कोई मेडिकल इशू हो भी रहा हो तो भी दे आर बीइंग कन्विंस्ड कि भाई कुछ नहीं है, सब हो सकता है, तुम ठीक कर सकती हो, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा. पर आजकल जस्ट टू गेट अनदर सिजेरियन in their billing list or whatever, this so-called noble profession जो है वो इतना गलत हो रहा है. This has happened not only with you देवव्रती, जो और भी लोग थे कि सारा कुछ सही है, सारी रीडिंग सही है, बेबी इज परफेक्टली नॉर्मल, उसके यानी रादर above average है, एक्टिविटीज अच्छी हैं, सब कुछ अच्छा है. सडनली हाउ कैन यू से कि अगर आप ये नहीं कराओगे so there could be a mishappening. It is such a big shock, और वो भी इस कंडीशन में जब वो लेडी है, ये तो बहुत गलत बात होती है. I don't know how these things are being done just for the sake of a big amount or something, but we are fortunate enough कि we have Swamiji with us and we are able to guide some of the people towards it. क्योंकि यहाँ पर हमारा जो whole soul purpose है, it is not just about business. We need to have certain money जिससे कि हमें सॉफ्टवेयर्स और ये सपोर्ट सिस्टम चला सके, but it is more about creating the stronger generation going forward. क्योंकि ये आपका बच्चा नहीं है, ये हमारा बच्चा नहीं है, ये हमारे सिस्टम का बच्चा है. ये ही हमारा अगला भारत है जो कि आगे लेके जाएगा. So here we are strengthening that human genome जो कि पहले बहुत महाराज शिवाजी से लेके आज इस स्थिति में आ गए. सो वापस से बढ़ रहा है. सो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस देवव्रती, बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगा. थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग हियर And of course, you are into Medini family, so those wonderful sessions will be continuing for you. हर पूर्णिमा में आप जरूर आइए, आपको जरूर मिलेंगे, and help us to make this thing happen. A medicine-free, organic, healthy pregnancy. So healthy babies and happy mothers. This is what we are doing here.
And it's absolutely true. I mean, I am a testimony to it. I can vouch for it, that each and every word which you just spoke about, healthy pregnancy, happy baby, medicine free, purely organic, I am a testimony to this, because I experienced each and every word of it. I am a happy mother with a happy baby, totally went on an organic pregnancy and was totally medicine free. It was totally medicine free for me. So an amazing and a beautiful, magical journey which Medini Care. I think I'll be always, obliged. There's no word that I would have. I'll be always obliged in my life that I could be a part of this wonderful journey. And maybe the universe somehow conspired and, made me join this. Otherwise, if I wouldn't have, then probably, with only being the support of medical science, probably I wouldn't even have been able to carry this pregnancy, because there were so many questions, and there were so many doubts that they would have given me, that it would have been very difficult. But thank you so much that today I am a happy mother of a healthy baby boy. My family is complete, and I couldn't ask for more. I just couldn't ask for more from God. And you all have come to me in form of a blessing, and I would be always obliged, and I would definitely come and seek blessings of both of you as my mentor, and of course Swamiji. I really want to come and touch his feet and seek his blessings. This is one thing that I definitely want. So for me, it's been a magical, beautiful journey. I have no words to express my gratitude, and how thankful I am for this, giving me this opportunity to be a part of this journey, ma'am.
You have earned it totally, Devrati. इसमें कोई doubt ही नहीं है. So thank you for being with us, Devrati, and to all the viewers here. Keep waiting, stay tuned. We will be back with more Devratis and more stories and more experience in terms of fertility and pregnancy. Thank you so much. This is Vithika Jain signing off with Neha Saigal and our dear Devrati from Medini Care. Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
And happy Kumbhak to you.
Happy Kumbhak to you.